Good morning, everybody. Just working through a couple little bugs on the restream, making sure everybody is seeing this okay this morning. Just give me one sec here. I had a couple of errors pop up on my stream when I first started this morning, so just kind of working out a couple little bugs with that. Not sure exactly what we got going on there. And I'll be with you guys here just a sec. Alright, let's see. Make sure that works okay. Looks like Facebook is looking good. I'm gonna check YouTube out here real quick. 37 degrees. What I've got right here in Clinton this morning. Morning, Holly. Happy Friday. And Molly, Michelle, and Tim, good morning. All right, let's jump over here. Looks like everything is working as it should. View the channel here. Okay, so yeah, looks like we are good to go. I don't know, must have just been some kind of little bug or something in there. I don't know. Every time I tried to pop it up, it said it wasn't connecting. So I had to go ahead and go live and see if it was going to connect or not. So I've got radar pulled up here. We're going to take a look at this, show you guys where that snow band is. So they do have a couple of winter weather advisories posted out east and north of west central Missouri. That's where they expect probably the heaviest accumulation are going to fall out here, Jeff City, Columbia, on over to toward Hannibal, Quincy, and St. Louis. Here's the snow band, and we do have a few rain showers. Actually, my windshield was wet this morning. So we do have a few rain showers out here in west central Missouri. This area of snow, we'll put this into motion, is actually moving to the east. But at the same time, we're going to see it drop south and start skirting over parts of west central Missouri. I do not think it's going to get... It's going to be hard pressed for it to get below this line. So those in Vernon County, St. Clair County, southern Benton County, it's going to be pretty hard pressed to get very much more than just a couple flurries down here in that area. But up here in the northern half of west central Missouri, northern Benton, Pettit, Johnson, Henry, Cass, and Bates County, it's still showing as far as the amount of precipitation, max it looks like an inch. I don't think anybody in West Central Missouri is going to be hitting that inch mark. I think it's just going to be some flurries. It's going to look like it snowed out there on the grass, where we might have a dusting to half inch, something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Warrensburg or Harrisonville, Sedalia, Clinton maybe got close to an inch. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm really not looking. It's really not looking like there's going to be much implication from this at all, as it looks right now. So let's take a look at. Take a look at the short term real quick. We'll let it load up here. So this is, see what, okay, so that's the newest. It had not finished. Let's go 1 hour back. So the totals have dropped a little bit for some of us. So it still looks like it's the eastern half is what's getting the majority of the snowfall. Clinton 0.8, 0.7 in Harrisonville, and it pretty much cuts most of St. Clair, Vernon, Bates County out of the picture. Just a dusting. But it does show about an inch at Warsaw, and we talked a little bit about this last night, that Pettis County and northern Benton County stand a pretty good chance to be able to see close to that inch, and that's pretty much what this model is showing, is right at 2 inches, and this is what is actually falling, not what is accumulating on the ground. So just slightly deceiving, but yeah, I would not be surprised to see Sedalia, Warrensburg get that 1 to 2 inches that I had put on the snowfall map last night. 1 to 2 inches for those areas, about an inch or so, half inch to an inch in Warsaw, Coal Camp, Lincoln. And then half inch or so for Clinton, and about a half inch for Harrisonville. So no big changes in that regard from the short-term models, just pushed a little bit further to the east. And some of these amounts are a little higher than what they were last night out here in central Missouri. So before we were looking at 2 to 3 inches, now it's showing 3, 4, close to 5 inches near Columbia. So, and again, this is how much snow that has fallen from the clouds, not so much what has accumulated on the surfaces, because we're still warm. I'm still showing 37 degrees here in Clinton. So, and I think most of the temperatures here on radar, 35, 34, 36, 37. So we're still pretty warm, and it's not going to drop much. It's just going to pretty much stay at these temperatures all day long today. So it's going to be pretty chilly as we go through today. Tomorrow morning, still looking at single digits wind chill. So it's going to be cold the next couple days. So I'm going to take a look here. I don't think we have to worry about any kind of issues with the roads this morning, guys. So I'm not even going to bring up MoDOT map. If anybody is traveling up North Kansas City, I do not get local channels, but I am under the assumption, but probably up there close to St. Joe, up in northwest Missouri, they're probably starting to get that change over to snow. Right now, it's looking like around 8 o'clock 9 o'clock time frame here in west central Missouri before we start to see that snow. Let's take a look at the times. Try to have a little better time for you guys, time frame, especially if you're getting ready to head out on the road. We'll do a time check on this and put it into motion. All right, so of course 6 a.m. we've got that snow up there right around St. Joe, northwest Missouri. Let's take a look. No, let's go to the last hour's model. So it does look like right around the 8 o'clock time frame. Right here's your timestamp. 8 o'clock is starting to hit into northern Pettis and northern Johnson counties and some in Cass County. But it's closer to about that 9 o'clock hour that it begins to affect us here in Bates, Henry, Benton, of course, Johnson, Pettis, and Cass County at that time. So let's see how long is projected. So looks like we should be pretty much done with the snow here in west central Missouri around 1 to 2 o'clock. So it has slowed down just a little bit. If you guys remember last night, we were talking about getting started around 7 or 8 a.m., finishing up by around noon. It slowed down just a little bit. So we can expect right around 9 a.m. this morning. So for those that are commuting, you're not going to have any problems this morning at all. It's just going to be this afternoon commute. There could be maybe a few slick spots, especially if you're commuting up to Kansas City, maybe up to the Jacomo plant, or the further north that you have to travel, stronger likelihood you might have a few issues on the road. So you might want to check before you head home. You get out into your car, you might just check with MoDOT road condition map just to make sure that the roads are going to be decent. With us being above freezing through most of the day, at least while it's during daylight hours, I don't really see much of an issue with roads for the morning commute or the evening commute. So MoDOT will have a couple hours after the snow stops to get out for a couple swipes out on the highways, and that should be enough to get the roads in pretty decent shape. It's going to be kind of a wet, slushy snow. So now tonight we're going to be dropping back down into the teens. We're going to be 18, 19 degrees. So any place that still has a little bit of liquid on it could have a few slick spots overnight tonight. So that's something to keep in mind if you got to travel tonight or first thing in the morning. Whenever you get this cooling effect like this, when it gets really, really cold, just the basic law of science, everything constricts. And it dries things out really, really fast. So the roads are going to dry quickly once this snow gets off the road. So I don't think we're going to see very many problems out on the roadway, but definitely need to be something to keep your eyes on and check MoDOT road condition map before you head out on the road tonight. Good morning, Misty. To grab my coffee real quick. If anybody has any questions or heading anywhere this morning, throw them out there on chat. Getting the kid ready for school. Well, a little chilly this morning. We're still above freezing. I've got 37 here at the house, 36 in Warrensburg, 36 in Harrisonville, 35 in Sedalia, and 36 in Warsaw. So we are pretty chilly this morning, but we're going to stay above freezing for the rest of the day. Not really expecting much of a drop of temperature as we get that snow moving a little bit closer here into west central Missouri. So well, that's good. That's great news. I think my uncle is bug free. Well, that's good. I'm proud of you, Uncle. That's a big step in the right direction, little buddy. Being a Swiftie and all. So we do have a couple more days. For those that want to get into the raffle, we've got some awesome prizes. We're going to be doing that Sunday night at 7 o'clock right here on the live stream. And we'll be picking the winners. Right now, looking like anybody that is entered into the raffle stands a 67% chance of winning the prize. So that's pretty incredible. I wish the lottery odds were that good. Take a look a little bit further north here. Hey, Uncle Tim, has it switched over to snow up there at Smithville yet? Hey, Remo. Good morning. Warrensburg. Well, actually, you might get a couple inches of snow out of this, Remington. So it's showing anywhere between 1 to 2 inches for Warrensburg today. But it's not going to start till, oh, you're out of school today. So you don't have to worry about school today. What are you doing up so dang early? 6:18 and you don't have school today. Hey, Joe. Good morning. Nothing in Liberty yet. Yep, you're just a little... Oh, wait. Hang on a minute. Liberty is south of Smithville, isn't it? Oh, yeah, there you are. There's Liberty. Yet, it's probably just on the onset there at Smithville. And like I said, this is actually moving to the east and then dropping south kind of at the same time. So it's going to have a quicker changeover, of course, for those North Kansas City. Catching the bird this morning. Windsor has school today, yep. Oh, if I take Val and Jamie out of the picture, you're going to stand a 67.5% chance of winning the prize. Take them out. Take them out, Tim. All right, so let's just do a little bit of a recap. And again, we're not. It's not like we're showing a big. We're gonna get 4 or 5 inches of snow today, guys. But so basically, right around the 8 to 9 a.m. time frame is when we're going to start to see this snow start to come through west central Missouri. Should be out of here by around the 2 o'clock time frame. And then it will clear out. And if you notice all these blue lines, there's the 540 line right here. Remember, that's the freeze line. Along and north of that 540 line, you can expect it to be 32 degrees or colder. So it begins to sink down south into southwest Missouri, and along, you can kind of tell where that front's at, in between the red and the blue line, and that's where we have most of the activity. So by 2 o'clock, we should have that out of here. No snow yet. Flooding the broadcast this morning. Well, I'm sure my folks are watching right now. So, but they watch. You know, they're fancy. They watch on their TV. So I don't think they figured out quite yet how to type a message on the TV. Hopefully Dad's not up there actually finger writing on the TV screen, getting his hand grease all over the TV. Mom would not be happy. Well, while we're on here, I'm going to take a quick look at long range. What are you laughing about, Val? It took, I don't know, I told you for like 3 years. 3 years I told you, Val, that TV does not have the scratch and sniff capability. Over there, sit there trying to scratch a Duncan Hines chocolate cake on TV. It doesn't smell. So taking a look at the long range, just see if there's anything that kind of catches my eye this morning. So I talked a little bit last night on both my blog on the website and also in the post around the 18th through the 25th. So that is the time where we got the systems like we did back the second week of January. That's when we had all the record-breaking cold. Around the 23rd is about the time that we began to see that Arctic air begin to drop down. We had some snow. We had 2 or 3 systems. This is the same system that will be coming up here on the 23rd as what we saw back second week of January. So this is all based on the LRC and the recycling theory. So looking at the long range, we have a pretty strong low pressure system down here in that sweet spot of the Four Corners. Be coming in around the 23rd. And one thing that I noticed last night that I am kind of keeping my eye on, we really haven't talked too much about severe weather. So, obviously it's still winter time here. But as we head into that first week of March, a couple of very interesting things kind of popped up when I was looking at the long range last night, that we may actually have to start talking about severe weather here in the next few days. because that first week of March, we might be dealing with some severe weather here in west central Missouri. So, but this is the 23rd of February. This is when we're going to start seeing that. Notice that 540 line begins to sink down, but it doesn't before the low pressure moves off to the east. So I don't think we'll have it. We might have some heavy rain, but from right now, it looks like that it's going to stay in liquid form for the most part. We go into the 25th, 27th. Here's our second system that I was looking at. This is right around the 27th of February at the end of the month. We have a stronger low pressure system, 994 low. Now this could have the potential to drop south. These stronger low pressure systems have been tending to be pushed a little bit further to the south as they come across the Midwest. So this one will be the one I'll be keeping an eye on. And for both severe weather and the possibility of a significant snow, depending on where this low pressure system ends up. Then we go into the first few days of March. March 1st, March 2nd, 540 line is all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico. So this will be the time that we see that it's not necessarily going to be Arctic, but we could have some Canadian air mass to bring us back down into actual temperature down around in the single digits. And that's right around the 1st of March. That 540 line, just think of all the iguanas that are going to be killed in Florida. You know, whenever it gets down to 32 degrees, those iguanas start falling out of the trees, hitting people in the heads. They have a iguana watch down there for you folks down there in Florida. So they might have to be watching for fallen iguanas down in Florida come March 1st. And then we go into the first few days of March, and we have another big low pressure system that could draw in some colder air right around the 6th of March. Heavy rain. This is another one that can produce some severe weather. This is the one that, when you take a look at the T-skews and the hotographs, is showing ample amount of instability. We will have highs back into the 50s and 60s, and we have a very strong cold front. Maybe the last major cold front of the year that's going to be bringing sub-below freezing temperatures coming into the Midwest. So that'll be the one that I'll be watching very closely as well for our possibility of our last snow and the possibility of severe weather. So they heard thunder. That was Wednesday night at 10:30. Huh. Wednesday night. Was that when you got the snow? No, you guys didn't. Did you guys get any? You guys got snow Wednesday, is that correct? Because I remember somebody talking about maybe some thunder snow, but I don't know if that was Wednesday night. Okay. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna be here really starting today all the way through through the first week of March. We're gonna have very active weather, lots of ups and downs in temperatures, several chances of rain / snow / thunderstorms. So yeah, it's gonna be active here until the first week of March, and then we start. It says some of the data is showing we're going to be getting into the 80s really quick in March. So, and of course, first week of March is the National Severe Storm Awareness Week. So I will be posting. We're going to have to kind of switch gears from winter to springtime thunderstorms and be throwing out just some refreshers on safety of severe storms. I will be holding a severe storm seminar here in Clinton, March 6th at 7 o'clock at the Benson Center. Worked up a grant through FEMA, which is the Federal Emergency Organization, where everybody here in Henry County, as long as they show proof of residency, can obtain a free weather radio. So we're going to kick off severe storm season with a seminar talking about safety and storm identification and how to read a radar. So it's going to be a great time. Trout opener, you know it, March 1st. Well, let's jump back here real quick to radar. Let's see how close. So up here in Smithville, Liberty, you'll probably have rain start to move in here within the hour, and then that slow transition into snow. Kansas City, Jackson County, Lafayette County, probably going to be somewhere around the 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'm sorry, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. time frame. And then for the rest of West Central Missouri, sometime after 9 o'clock this morning, we should start to see that transition into snow showers. And again, we're not expecting a whole lot of snow here in West Central Missouri. I'm going to bring back up the snowfall forecast. Jump that over here to so the latest short-term model just refreshed. So let's see if anything changed. Not much has changed. So latest short-term ARRR model showing 1.1 in Clinton, close to 2 inches in Cocamp, Lincoln, Warsaw 1 to 2, Warrensburg 1 to 2, and Sedalia, Pettis County 1 to 2. Up there at under an inch for you guys up in Smithville, Liberty. If this should happen just to shift just 50 miles to the east, we might only be looking at a dusting for most of us here in West Central Missouri. So please take a look at the snowfall map and take it with a grain of salt, because once we start getting into exactly where that cutoff for the 1 inch and the half inch, There's a plus or minus of 10, 15 miles. So just taking a look at the T-skews here. So right up here at about where you see this the two yellow lines right here, and this yellow line right here, that is what they call the snowfall, the growth zone, so to speak. So that's where you look where the snow is going to develop. And then remember me telling you about that cooling effect, right? Dynamic cooling. And if you notice up here at the 850 millibar, which is, roughly 5,000 feet above our heads, it's down to 27 degrees up here, and the dew point is exactly 27 degrees at about 5,000 feet above our heads. So when you have that humidity or dew point matching the temperature, you get precipitation. And of course, when it falls, it's going to be all snow. So of course, by the time it hits the surface, it's above freezing at 35, and it will begin that melt off. But that's the reason why you can get snowfall when it's above freezing at the surface. It's because at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 feet above your head, it's below freezing, and it meets the dew point, and it begins to fall as snow. And so that's exactly what's happening here. Is we begin to see the ice crystals form, and then turn into snow and fall to the surface and begin that rapid melting process. But that's the reason why it's going to be a very, very wet snow that falls. So you better, Joe, that's what we ought to do. Tim, you're the man in charge. Let's get all the sublets together and let's go down to Bennett. We'll let my dad lead the way, if you remember his opening day story. First time I took him down on opening day. What a classic day that was. He doesn't like fishing around a crowd. You remember that, Uncle Tim? So his very first cast at opening bell, he thought he had a fish on the line. So he set the hook, and when his line came out of the water, there was like 15 other lines attached to it. The guy on the other side of the Niagara, he said, "Just go ahead and release the line. I'll take care of it." So my dad flipped over the bail. He let the line go. The guy reeled it in, took his toenail clippers, clipped everybody's line but his own. And he said, "Okay, good to go." Well, they all reeled in their line, and they lost their lure. So that was the funniest thing ever. So Dad, he's moaning and groaning, saying he's never gonna darken the doorstep of yet Bennett Springs as long as he lives. Well, he tied back on again, cast back out. After about the third or fourth cast, he got tangled up again. Well, he got smart, and he told everybody here, I'll take care of it. He reeled it all in, and he started clipping everybody's lines. So, man, what a classic day that was. What a good day to be a sublet down there. Rope off an area from Murphy. Yeah, we'll call that area 5, Tim. Zone 5 for Murphy. You bet, Remington. Man, I'm ready. I'm ready this year. I am ready to go back down. So me and Remington, we've made it kind of our annual trip. It was 7 years in a row, and we actually unfortunately had to miss it last year. So we're planning on this year for sure. No hooks allowed. I think Dad mentioned something about taking some of his old his musky tackle down there. Some of those 14-inch Zara spooks. Good times, good times. All right, guys. So, just kind of a quick recap. We'll get out of here. We don't have to worry about anything out there on the roads right now. Everything is still up in northwest Missouri. And a little bit of a transition going on here, a little closer into central Missouri. Expecting west central Missouri right around the 9 o'clock time frame. Maybe a little bit later before we see that transition into snow. So the morning commute looks to be good and no issues. Tonight, after the snow stops around the 2 o'clock time frame, just be watching for some slick spots. It is going to, once that sun goes down and we get after dark, temperatures are really going to start dropping. We're going to have an overnight low tonight of 18 degrees. So anything that is still wet as we go into the overnight hours it might have a chance to have a couple slick spots. But of course, it's kind of the natural process when you get cold like that. It constricts and it dries things out really quickly. So I'm not expecting much of the way of road issues. It's going to be a very heavy, wet snow. It's going to be easy for MoDOT to clear that off of the highways. So, and it's not going to come down in a really heavy clip like what we've seen the last two snowstorms. So, expecting anywhere between a dusting to 2 inches throughout west central Missouri. Benton County, Johnson County, Pettis County stands a better chance to get that upward to 2-inch amounts, where everybody else a dusting to about an inch is what's expected. You too, Joe. Have a great day, buddy. So not expecting much of the way of travel issues for the commuters. Total snowfall, and again, we're looking at models. This is the latest one that just refreshed. Anywhere between a dusting to an inch for most of us in west central Missouri. And again, Benton, Johnson, and Pettis County, 1 to 2 inches is going to be the upper end of the snow amount. So that's what we see this morning. I will update this evening with a new extended forecast that will take us through the weekend into the first part of next week. We are going to be cold Saturday and Sunday morning. Not expecting temperatures to go up very much today, in the upper 30s, and again for tomorrow, upper 30s. And then we start a slow transition back up to warmer temperatures as we go into next week, and making a run at 70 degrees next week, guys. And that's going to be out ahead of a Canadian air mass that's poised to come in the last week of February. So everybody have a great day today. Stay safe. If you get in one of these snow bands, take it slow. Be safe. I want to see everybody back on here again for our next live stream. So we still got a couple days. Anybody wants to get in to the raffle? If you want to make a donation to Subby's Weather Talk, there is a link posted under the featured post on Facebook with all the information. If you want to get in there and donate $1, donate $5, it doesn't make any difference. Get yourself entered into the raffle we have coming on Sunday night at 7 o'clock in a live stream on both YouTube and Facebook. Got some great prizes, and I will be continuing to highlight some of those prizes as we head into Sunday. Have a fabulous day, guys. We'll be talking to you soon.